Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock in your roof. You call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, and Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, 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 15% off your order. All right, y'all, good morning. Hope everybody's week is off to a rip-roaring start. Going to be an interesting week for ya boy, as I'll be leaving Thursday after AFR to head to Nashville. So very much looking forward to getting there and doing AFR Friday in Nashville, getting to go to the game on Saturday and hopefully catch a Tigers win and all that jazz. So, Nashville's a booming city, pretty fun trip, usually stress-free when LSU plays there. I have a feeling this one might be a little bit closer. The odds makers have Vanderbilt as a slight favorite, and it got bet up. It's open at 1.5, got bet up to 2.5. So curious if that continues to move. Maybe it comes down closer we get to game time. Old adage is favorites early, dogs late. So usually you see the number continue to rise, but let's see what the update is at DraftKings. If it's still 2.5. Yep, still 2.5. Vanderbilt 2.5. Interesting. Brian Kelly did meet with reporters on Monday, gave some good news on the injury front. Seems like everybody's doing good. Paul Mabenga's progressed, and I'll probably have him back this week. Caden Durham suffered a hip pointer in the game, but is okay. Nuss, the ankle is minor. He's fine. Bernard Gooden, collarbone, but not broken, which is the good news, says bruised. So really good news there because, man, you could ill afford to lose that guy on your defensive line. So, all in all, Tigers pretty healthy as they get ready to go to Nashville this week, take on Vanderbilt. And, man, keep saying it. LSU goes and beats Vanderbilt this week, and Texas A&M takes care of business against Arkansas, which they should. A week from Saturday will be bat bleep crazy in Tiger Stadium. If you get an undefeated top 5 Texas A&M coming in against LSU, be huge. Okay, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Glad to have you with us here. Let's say some good mornings. Hey, Club, good morning. Tiger Poppy, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Shabbat Shalom. Jalen, good morning. Kelly, good morning from Chicago. Tell T-Bob we said hello there in Chicago. Weston Weaver, what's going on? Patrick, good morning. Air the lungs. Java in the mug. Going to be a great day. Let's go. Hey, Abner, good morning. Brad, good morning. Matt from Salina, Kansas. I guess that's what that is. Kansas, Kansas. Lowercase. Hey, Ben, good morning. Devin, good morning, Matt. Do you think Penn State fired Franklin to get a head start on a search for a new coach, considering Florida, Auburn, and other name brand schools may fire their coaches? Devin, I absolutely think that's part of it. I published this last night and shared on Twitter and Facebook. I absolutely think firing coaches early is part of that. Because what happens is whenever you fire your coach, now you have clearance to go talk to representatives. You can't go like Penn State can't go interview candidates right now that are in the middle of the season, right? But they can start talking to representation. So you can get your list together. You can start getting organized. You can start talking to agents and representatives, say, okay, who to gauge who might be interested. So you can start those conversations, because as soon as the season ends and you're ready to make your hire, you got to move quickly, because remember, the season will end Thanksgiving weekend. And then, um, before all the bowls and everything. And then you've got your December signing period for high schools. And then remember, now you've only got one transfer portal window at the beginning of January. So it's not like, so it's like every day that passes, if you don't have a coach, it gets more tenuous trying to build your roster for next year. So yes, I absolutely think that's part of it. Getting the head start. Hey, Ian, good morning. Wonder at this point if Jason David would have been a better corner than Sugarwater. I mean, Kool-Aid. In fairness, Kool-Aid McKinstry's still in the beginning of his second year. So he can still improve and can still get much better. As of right now, he is certainly not a lockdown number one corner. That's just an objective truth. Like, he is really struggling drawing the assignment of everybody else's number one. But that's why you have to go through this. And so maybe when you hit free agency, one of your chief objectives is go sign a number one corner. Whoever the best corner is in free agency, go sign that guy, and then Kool-Aid is your number two. Like, maybe that's what you do. Or maybe if you're good, you feel like you're okay quarterback and you're drafting in the top 5, draft the best cornerback in this draft class. Like, those can become your options. Kyrie, I know it wasn't amazing. That was definitely the best our offensive line has looked so far. With this defense, we can go beat anybody in the entire country, no joke. I mean, I agree with that, because just look around the country. You had 7 ranked teams lose this past weekend. So I know there was a general melt after the Ole Miss loss, and I understand to a degree. But like, look around the country. Indiana went and won at Oregon, and Michigan lost to an unranked USC team. How bad does Bama's loss to Florida State look now that Florida State's lost 3 in a row? I mean, you get it. Like, it's just Oklahoma lost to unranked Texas after Texas lost to unranked Florida. I mean, it's Ohio State really struggled to get past Texas, who at the first half of the season didn't look great. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's no superpower out there where you go, well, you can't win that game. Hey, Jalen, good morning. After the game last night, you see a chance for the Saints to go get their second win this weekend? Well, I mean, there's always a chance, right? I mean, it's the NFL, it's any given Sunday, it's all that stuff. But I think, I don't like that you're on the road and you played 2 road games so far and have not been, well, you weren't competitive against Seattle, and we could say you were competitive against Buffalo, but you gave up 31 and lost by 12. So, I don't love going on the road. Now the Bears have a short week. Of course, the Bears were on the road. Now they got a home game. Of course, the Saints have to go to Chicago, but the Bears had to play on the road Monday, so you get home late Monday night. Tuesday's typically your off day in the NFL, so a quick turnaround, a short week for the Bears. But I don't love the matchup. I mean, if Dennis Allen remembers, the Bears defensive coordinator, and for as historically bad as a head coach as Dennis Allen was, he's always been a really good defensive coordinator, and he knows this personnel. He knows Spencer Rattler. He knows Kamara, Olave, Shaheed. Like, he knows all these guys. So, and you could say, well, they know him as well, but he ain't the head coach. He's just coaching defense. So, I think the Bears do have a pretty significant edge in this game. Let's see, I'll tell you what the early line is right now on Saints Bears. Bears 5.5. So Ben, why did you pick this game to go on the road? So, we have a really good relationship with the LSU Alumni Association, and so this is one of the alumni trips. So that's why we're making it. So, like where I'm doing AFR on Friday is at Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places bar, and the LSU Alumni Association is having like a big party there, kind of wrapped around the show. So, that's why. I mean, as a aside, um, like we talked about going to Clemson, but obviously LSU's general lack of success in openers for the last half decade was kind of a damper. But also, Clemson is there just wasn't really a great spot to set up in Clemson. Like most people have to stay in Greenville, and it's just it wasn't logistically uh, a really good setup for Clemson. So we decided to make this trip with the Alumni Association. Hey, Brian, do you think LSU fans are going? Do you think the LSU fans that are going to that's what happened back in 19 when they went there? I was in Nashville in 2019, as a matter of fact. Did my show from one of the Redneck Riviera. On Friday with the alumni. And then it was an 11 a.m. game again. That's the game where Burrow threw for 5 touchdown passes. He was flashing the 5 in front of the Vanderbilt guy. That was a weird one where Vanderbilt had a couple of non-offensive touchdowns and made it seem closer than it probably was. But I think it was like 50 something to 30 game. Maybe Vanderbilt scored 38 in that game, something like that. Anyway, I don't know that we see that high scoring game. I don't think Vanderbilt's scoring 38 in this game. I think the question is, can LSU go there and get going offensively? Hope they can. Hey, Cody, what are the chances of another last year with this stretch ahead? 3 straight losses in a row. I don't know, Cody. I'm a little perplexed. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You can feel how you want, but man, you're bringing a lot of negative energy. And I'm not saying you got to be a sunshine pumper, but there's 2 sides of that coin, right? Could they lose to Vanderbilt? Sure. Could they lose to A&M? Sure. Could they lose to Bama? Sure. Yes. All those things are very possible. Do I think they will? I do not. The wheels would have to come off, and your defense is too good. You know, you have a veteran quarterback that I know turned the ball over twice last week, but we've seen him do that. We've also seen him play awesome, and you're going to have some of those mixed in, like a year ago when they beat Ole Miss. And they went on the road and crushed Arkansas when everyone was worried about them defending a mobile quarterback, and they really bottled up Taylor Green that day. So I don't know, man. Like I don't think they're going to lose to Vanderbilt. And I think they'll have a great shot to beat Texas A&M as well. You can roll your eyes at that, but that's going to be a crazy environment in Tiger Stadium. And I think I am really looking forward. Like, that's going to be a game where Mansour Delane actually has a chance to show off, because he'll probably draw Concepcion from A&M. And I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves. I know we got to watch LSU Vanderbilt this weekend, but really looking forward to seeing how that plays out a week from Saturday. But you know, that LSU defense will have a great shot to limit A&M offensively. So can you get going? You know, I think it could be a real similar game to Ole Miss a year ago. Hey, Patrick. Never mentioned Jason Davis' name again. Hey, Landon. Good morning. 7 months ago, I announced on here I was having my first kid. Now, here we are welcoming the newest member of the family, Luna Abigail Weber, to the Scone family. We're so blessed. That's awesome, man. Landon, congratulations. Welcome to the world, Luna Abigail. Hope your days are filled with good sleep, full belly, and lots of laughs. Man, that's awesome. Congrats, Landon. That's great news, man. Congratulations. Brian was drink. Oh, that Brian, that probably is going to happen for sure. That happens anywhere LSU goes. KDP, good morning. Michael Cook, good morning. Cody, good morning. Christian, what's up, dude? Good morning from Rosemary. All right, dude. Okay. We got a little vacation. At some point, LSU would get blown out in a game. With Cody, tell you, man, I don't know what's going on in Cody's brain. Cody's in a bad spot. Cody's fandom is in a bad place right now. It's going to be okay, Cody. Cheers. Construction and roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com. All right. Okay, y'all. As always, shout out to Brock. Remember, all the subspecialists, they got you covered. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and all that stuff. Elbows, back, hands, wrist. You need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. Need a roof, you give us a shout at Parrish. We got a Parrish marketing meeting every Tuesday, so that's why I'm all dolled up in the Parrish gear. Be over at the Parrish office today. So, hey, a lot of you asked for Parrish hats. Y'all come on by. Come on by the office. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Also Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. The great thing to remind people is lowest Botox prices, $8 a unit on Botox. So if it's not you, maybe your wife, girlfriend, fiance, let her know. $8 a unit on Botox at Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. It's all in one, right? So there's Goodwood, Unique Physique, and Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. So they're all there in one. And Unique Aesthetics and Wellness does all like the laser therapies, the body contouring, like laser hair removal, hydrofacials, all that sort of stuff. So check them out. Patrick, coworker of mine, is a Bama fan. He says Vandy is a one-trick pony. Contain their quarterback win. It's that simple. So the truth about Vanderbilt is they really struggle to throw the football. Now they have a good tight end in Eli Sowers, but that is their limitation. So if you can contain Pavia and contain their run and make them throw the football, then that really plays in LSU's hands. So you have to be disciplined your gaps in your run fits and not let them bust big ones like they did against Bama. I mean, they had a 65-yarder, I think a 36-yarder. I mean, they had big runs against Bama. So you got to be disciplined, gap sound. And by the way, LSU, which really struggled with mobile quarterbacks a year ago, did very well against Pavia and the Vanderbilt offense. So, yes, Brian Kelly even said it point blank yesterday. The objective is contain the run, make them beat you throwing the football, and you feel really good about yourself in that situation. KDP, good morning. Said Aaron Anderson was progressing, but did he say he would play? He didn't say point blank that he would play. The interesting thing, so Aaron Anderson got dressed on Saturday. Like full uniform and went through warmups and then got um, uh, and then went and got in street clothes and watched the game. It's a little odd that he went and got dressed and went through warmups, like against Southeastern. Remember, Tradez, um, was it Florida? No, it was Southeastern. Against Southeastern, Tradez went through warmups, but he went through warmups just in a shirt with a brace on and then didn't play. It was weird to get dressed and then, but anyway, it sure looks like Aaron Anderson's going to be able to give it a go this week. Who you got with Ole Miss and Georgia? Georgia. I think Georgia's defense is really good. I don't think Ole Miss is great. Yeah, I know they're ranked fourth in the country and they beat LSU. But everything I said about Ole Miss leading up to that game holds, and you just saw it against Washington State. Like, the more of a sample size grows on the quarterback, Chambliss, I think the more you realize that he's limited. Gutsy guy and played well against LSU. I think everything in that game was exacerbated by the fact that LSU did not even attempt to run the football. I don't know how many more ways I could say that. You play 84 snaps, your defense is going to get tired. Ole Miss's tempo and pace gave LSU problems because the defense was on the field for 84 plays, and still they only gave up 24 points. And you had two short fields where you settled for field goals. I mean, we know the drill, right? The whole thing. We know all the missed opportunities in that game. You play the game again. I mean, even in Oxford, I'd say again, I think LSU wins and wins comfortably. I can't help but think, what if you had Caden Durham? Like, is part of the reason they didn't run the ball against Ole Miss because they didn't have Caden Durham? Maybe. But I mean, I'm gonna keep pounding that drum, y'all. We're gonna look back. I'm telling you, mark this down. Someone like screen grab this. Remember, I said this. Like, we're gonna look back at the end of the season and go, "How in the hell did LSU lose to Ole Miss?" I'm telling you, we're gonna look back at the end of the season and have that conversation, because they ain't finishing fourth, they ain't finishing 10th. They're gonna be a playoff team. Like, one of the reasons to like Ole Miss and one of the reasons I had them 7th in the league and not lower was because of their schedule. They do have a favorable schedule, but no, I don't think Ole Miss wins this weekend. Hey, Dustin, good morning. Robbie, good morning. Does Hester and Flynn do a show at Rouse's on Fridays on football season? Yes, 7 to 10 a.m. for their show, and it's at the Rouse's on Burbank and Lee. And that's not just during football. That's going to be every Friday. So, yes. Clayton Adney, good morning. Hey, Hunter, good morning. Hey, Father J.D. Mathern, good morning. Is it just me or is Hilton just not a gamer? I trust your analysis been practicing. Don't see it translate. You see, that's a good question. I think someone asked that yesterday as well. Like, is it fair to say, like, who did we? Oh, like Van Buren, not good in practice, better in the game. Is it fair to flip it with Hilton? Really good in practice, not good in the game. That happens. I mean, look in. We've seen that with guys like who's the receiver for the Saints that we talk. Tipton, Mason Tipton. I feel like there was somebody else though. But anyway, they're like, training camp warriors get to games and it doesn't translate. That could be the case, although we've seen Chris Hilton do it in games. That's the problem. Like, we saw Chris Hilton ball out at the end of last year. I just think he's had limited reps and he hasn't maximized his limited reps this year. I think he played 11 snaps the other day. Go Tigers. Coaching carousel will be wild this year. I agree with that. Hey, Lewoski, good morning. What do you think of this lineup? Hey, Brad, do you think Clark Lee could be a candidate for the Penn State job? So somebody else asked that yesterday. Look, he's a Vandy alum, and Vandy is finally getting buy-in, and he's finally getting Vanderbilt to respect, not only respectability, but to where they're good. For me, I think it's sometimes the obvious choice in coaching hires is the obvious choice for a reason. And I mean, Matt Rule played at Penn State. He's been a head coach now 3 different places in college and in the NFL. He's in the Big Ten right now in Nebraska, so he's been scouting the Big Ten. Like, Matt Rule is the obvious choice for a reason. And Matt Rule was asked yesterday about the job, and he talked about how much he loved Penn State. He feels bad for James Franklin. Didn't downplay the job, like, and he shouldn't, like, because that's probably a job he's going to take. Like, if I had to bet Matt Rule or the field, I would bet Matt Rule gets that job. Hey, Courtney, good morning. Patrick, Gamolgan, what do you think of the rumor, social media, that Adidas has pushed fired Frankel but pay the buy? So something to keep in mind about that. And someone mentioned that, but what I would say is, remember, no matter how they structure or allocate the funds, Adidas isn't like increasing their funds. So, like, if you're Penn State and you want to allocate, and I don't know that that's true, by the way. I don't know that that's true. Anyway, I again heard that report. I don't know that that's true. I don't know where it came from. But what I would say is, um, remember, part of apparel deals, the way those are structured, is schools will get some of that money, that contract, in apparel, cleats, hoodies, shirts, whatever, like sneakers, all this. They'll get part of it in apparel, and then part of it's cash, and so on. And if Penn State wants to take part of their cash allocation from Adidas and put it toward a buyout, okay. It goes back to something I said, like, it's, you can move the lines on the spreadsheet however you want, but it's not in to make it, do funny accounting, but it's not increasing your input, if that makes sense. It's no different than, like, I know we talked about this when Tristan Keys flipped to Tennessee, and they're like, well, he has a deal with Adidas. That's true. So what? And remember, Adidas has also done a deal with like 10 Texas A&M players. So what you're seeing some of these schools do pretty clearly with Adidas is say, hey, look, instead of paying us cash, do a true third-party NIL deal with our student athletes. So it gets the benefit of, for Adidas to have those NIL deals with the athletes, and now the school gets a true, like, third-party NIL deal that they can tell Tristan Keys or whoever, hey, when you come, we have this third-party NIL deal worth this already waiting for you from Adidas, right? So it feels like the same, but it's still, that's cash that if Penn State is going to allocate toward James, and I don't know that they are, by the way, but if that's cash that they're going to allocate toward James Franklin's buyout, fine. That's then cash they can't allocate toward third-party NIL, whatever other revenue bucket they'd have it in for their athletic department expenses, if that makes sense. Hopefully no more stupid 10-year contracts. I don't mind a 10-year contract. The problem is the buyout. I mean, that's the problem. Like, you want to lock someone up for 10 years, fine. The buyout, the inability to get out of the contract is the problem. Hey, Clayton, possibly College Game Day next week. Yes, absolutely. I think College Game Day will absolutely be in Baton Rouge next week. If it'll be primetime, ABC, College Game Day, all of it, if both teams cooperate this week. Adams, Eccles, Moore, Chester, Kern starting O-line. Brian Kelly was pretty clear yesterday. They're sticking with Weston Davis at right tackle. I asked him the question about Josh Thompson potentially moving to right tackle, and Brian Kelly, I thought, gave a great answer, but he effectively said Weston Davis needs to play, and they're not moving Josh Thompson. Now, I can tell you that I did have a conversation with a staff member who told me that a couple of weeks ago they did talk to Josh Thompson about moving to tackle, and that was not something he was super pumped about the idea of doing. Know thyself. Hey, Brandon, good morning. Robbie, thoughts on the Titans firing their coach, Brian Callahan, who was OC for the Bengals at one time? The Titans stink. I think the challenge with that is you just took a quarterback first overall, and then 6 games into his rookie season, you fired the head coach. In so doing, you're just setting back your rookie quarterback even more. Hey, Jason, suck it, Dale. Good morning. John here in Napier will be fired after this week. Is he an OC candidate? Would you want Billy Napier as an OC candidate? Look at their offense. Like, I would argue Billy Napier's biggest bugaboo so far has been his unwillingness to give up play calling. Like, look at what's happened in at UCLA. All of a sudden, Jerry Neuheisel starts calling plays. You get a fresh idea in there, fresh set of eyes. Boom, that offense can't be stopped now. Like, you've got DJ Lagway. You've got good offensive guys. You've got a really good running back in Jaden Ball. Like, Florida's got offensive weapons. The fact they can't move the ball and score, like, hey, Billy, maybe it's you. I don't know that I want Billy Napier as an offensive coordinator. Matt, who do you think will be? Matt Rule. Jeffrey, it is 7:16. I got to go. Guy Brooks, good morning. Critter Getter, chance of getting Miles on as OC. Why would you want Miles on as your OC? Like, it's pretty clear that, like, yes, you watched Florida State against Alabama in the opener. Have you watched any of Florida State since? Especially the last 2 weeks. Googe, what's good, man? Jumped on, apologies, you covered. Thoughts on Vandy being favored. Yeah, I asked Jimmy out that yesterday. He said it would have been like, because I talked to Jimmy. I had lunch last Thursday with Jimmy and Charlie and those guys after their show. I had a quick meeting. And at that time, the look-ahead line was LSU 3. So as of Thursday, late last week, the look-ahead line was LSU 3. Well, Vandy was idle. LSU was sluggish against South Carolina. So it flipped to Carolina or Vandy 1.5. And then the smart money came in on Vandy to bump it up to 2.5. Curious to see what it does when we get closer. I think it's foolish. I think LSU is going to win. Okay, I got to go. Y'all have an awesome day. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. All of our sponsors, link in the description on YouTube, tagged on Facebook. Locked on LSU is live, so please go check that out. I went deep dive into the run game, offensive line stuff from Brian Kelly on Monday. And I'm going to do a bonus episode for around lunchtime today, specifically on Nussmeier and Pavia. So look forward to that as well. Y'all have a great day. See you.